Let's talk about defensive lines, shall we? Oh, this is going to have to do with Russia, Ukraine, what the Biden administration is doing with the missiles and mines. But let's talk about the system and what they're doing as we speak right now. You know, defense in depth is a military concept that has been around for a very, very, very long time. Have you ever heard that term, defense in depth? If you have, good. If you haven't, don't worry. Let me explain really quickly. The thinking is this. See, in old military ways, old military thinking, you would have all your defense in one line. This is our line. Nobody behind us. This is our line. If it breaks, we're finished, but we'll put all of our forces right here. And then over time, people started to realize, military commanders started to realize, that doesn't make a lot of sense, actually. You're putting all your eggs in one basket. So yeah, create a line, a strong line, but then behind it, create another line. We'll call it a trench. You have your first trench, but make another one way behind it, so if something bad happens and you lose your first trench, your men have a place to fall back to where they can regroup, turtle up, get ready to withstand the attack, maybe even counterattack. Defense in depth. Force your enemy to work through multiple layers of defense. This is going to come back to politics in Russia, Ukraine. You just have to stay with me. What the system is doing right now, what our system is doing, the evil system of government that runs this country and all of the West, what they're doing is they have fallen back to their secondary line. And a lot of people can't see it. They don't realize it. See, here's what happened. The first line was, of course, the election. Democrats are all communists now, and communists run every institution now in this country, from government to education, FBI, Hollywood, media, you name it. This globalist communist cabal, they run everything now. And they really, really, really wanted Kamala Harris to win the election because she would simply ensure that everything continues apace. The looting of America, the destruction of America, all these things would just continue as they were before. That was the ideal goal. That was what they wanted. Hey, let's make sure we keep a Democrat in office, keep Donald Trump out. That's our first defensive line. But too bad, so sad. For a variety of reasons, they lose the election, and now you have Donald Trump coming in. And it's not just Donald Trump. This is apparently a new and much improved version over the first time. Donald Trump is coming in, and if we're to look at his appointees, it looks like Donald Trump is coming in to reform things. He is coming in to change the evils of the system. He's coming in to hold people accountable. So a lot of people on the right, they're under the impression right now that the system is on the run, that they're defeated, they're on the run. We won the election. Woke is dead. If you see anybody saying that, woke is not dead and they're not on the run. They have fallen back to their second position. And part of falling back to a second position is getting ready to withstand the same army that stormed through your first position. Right now, we are at a critical period in history that actually won't get very much play at all. It's this little window of time in between when Democrats lost the election and when Donald Trump actually takes power. Because as you know you're a political person, Donald Trump doesn't have any power yet. He will very soon. January's coming. He's going to be president, but now it's just the president-elect. He really doesn't have any more political power than you or I. So the system, they're still running everything. And in this tiny little window, they are doing everything they can possibly do to ensure that Donald Trump, you, me, everybody who loves the country, cannot get through that second defensive line. And that is what the deep state is doing. That is what Democrats are doing in a variety of ways. I, of course, could point to Chuck Schumer ramming through as many communist judges as humanly possible, but let's move past that and talk about Russia, Ukraine. It's maybe their ultimate defense in depth thing they're doing. People woke up one day a few days ago, we picked up the newspaper, which means we picked up our phone. So let me do it accurately. We picked up the newspaper and we looked and we said, wait, Joe Biden he authorized missiles, long-range missiles, our missiles? He authorized their use to have them land in Russia? What are you talking about? Joe Biden himself has been on camera saying that would be World War III. That's crazy. Why would he do that? I can't figure out why he would do that. People got confused. And then we find out it's actually worse. We had previously not authorized anti-personnel mines to be used. And we just now authorized anti-personnel mines to be used. I know you already know this, but just so you know, an anti-personnel mine is hidden. It's in the ground. You step on it and it goes boom. And if you're lucky, your legs are gone. If you're not lucky, your mother gets to bury you in a few days. They're a nasty, nasty bit of business. Why would we escalate like this? People are looking around. I don't understand. I don't understand. I know you don't understand. Well, you probably do, but your normie neighbor doesn't understand. So allow me to explain. The Russia-Ukraine war, for whatever else it is, the invasion, the history of it, for whatever else it is a huge financial and power boondoggle for all the evil people who run the system. And this goes beyond the military, not just the military, not just defense contractors, the major finance giants. You've already had major finance giants come out and say, man, I can't wait to rebuild Ukraine. We will rebuild. It is a big pot of money. Think of Russia, Ukraine, and this ongoing war as this huge pot of money. And now you have Donald Trump, who just won the presidency, and he will take office in January. And he's been telling every single person who will listen, we have to finish this. People are dying. This is horrible. We're going to finish this. This has got to stop. This has got to stop immediately. Well, if you're part of the system and you're enjoying looting this big pot of money, remember, these are all evil demons. They don't care about anybody dying. You could point out the people who are dying. These people don't care about that. They don't think like that. But if you're one of those people and you're enjoying your access to this big pot of money, well, you have to figure out what to do between now and then. What do we do? How do we secure our second defensive line against the coming Trump? Well, escalate. Escalate the war so the war can get to a place where Donald Trump can't get us out of it. You see, there are certain levels to conflict. There are certain levels to war, and I'm certainly not minimizing any of the loss of life or the horrors in Russia, Ukraine. It's bad, don't get me wrong, but as of right now, it is still a regional conflict between Russia and Ukraine, and it is still something an American leader who wants out can probably negotiate our way out of. But what if bombs start landing in Sweden? What if there's an attack of some kind on America? No, I'm not here to fearmonger you. I don't think the Russians are going to launch an ICBM across the ocean and vaporize New York City. But what if there's EMP, a major hacking attack? You have any idea how much of our infrastructure is vulnerable online? Cybersecurity guys will tell you this till they're blue in the face. What if we get a tangible, hurtful attack here? You see, it can go from being a regional conflict that Donald Trump can maybe get us out of to being such a quagmire, something global, that now we're stuck there and the pot of gold remains. And don't think this is only our politicians who think this way. Again, it is the globalist communist cabal. They're thinking the same thing over in the UK.
Russia is the aggressor,
Even
and
if
Russia,
it unleashes nuclear war.
Russia has to be the one that makes the move to stop this war. It's within their gift, but we must support Ukraine. It's impacting not just Ukraine; it's impacting the rest of the world, including the UK.
Is your message to viewers back home that there will not be a nuclear war, because that is what Russia is threatening?
My message is that we need to ensure that Ukraine is put in the best possible position. This is 1,000 days of conflict, and there is a very high cost if Russian aggression is seen to pay off.
Asked about nuclear war, Russia is threatening it. They're openly threatening it now that missiles are landing in their soil. He's asked about 1 million people being turned into vapor. Breezes right past it. Gives you the same standard talking points you've been hearing. Wow, I mean, Russia. Okay. And if this thing kicks off, remember the current Secretary of Defense, this is what he's worried about.
Do you have any concern that women impact readiness of these units?
They do impact readiness. They make us better. They make us stronger. And again, what I've seen from our women is quite incredible. And I'm not. This is not hyperbole. This is fact. I'm just telling you what I've seen. And I think, as the years have gone by, our women get better and stronger.
Yeah. Ready for WW3 with guys like that leading the way? And let's keep in mind, we have a military full of generals and admirals, good old boy network. They don't ever hold themselves accountable for anything anymore. 20 years in Afghanistan, failure after failure, the men and women on the ground dying, blown up, shot to pieces, mangled beyond belief, at the end of which we finished the 20-year disaster with a 20-year anniversary of embarrassment, being embarrassed on the world stage, and America's top military man didn't have a single regret.
Do you have regrets about the withdrawal from Afghanistan?
I support the president's decision.
Do you have regrets about the withdrawal or how the withdrawal occurred from Afghanistan that cost the lives of 13 of our service members?
I don't have any regrets.
These are the evil people who are trying to raise this conflict to something Donald Trump can't get us out of, and they're doing it for money and power. People trying to ensure the death of God knows how many people, and it's all for money and power. Demonic. All that may have made you uncomfortable, but I am right. I would thank you for coming to my YouTube channel, but I know how brilliant it is, and I know you love it here. So subscribe and watch. We're going to start really ramping things up and putting some funny stuff, some interesting stuff out there, some collaborations. Either way, my YouTube channel is officially the place to be. So stick around.